So you've got this proposal that angle, angle, side should be in our list. You know how we've been using properties of shapes and definitions to figure out other things so that we can use those things? So angle, angle, side. This is what angle, angle, side would be, right? If I trace around, I'm going to hit an angle, and then I have to keep going until I get to the next angle, which is labeled, and then I'll get to a labeled side. So that's what angle, angle, side looks like. What do I know about angles in a triangle?
They don't add up to 360. No, 180.
It's like they add up to 180. Oh, so if I know two of the angles and you guys are telling me they're supposed to add up to 180, could I figure out the third angle?
Yes.
So if I know two angles, really, I actually know all three, right? So that means we could add this one in because since we know triangles make 180, I actually know that. Okay. With that labeled, I can't use angle, 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 but is there something else hiding in there that I could use from our list? Oh, yeah. Angle, side, angle. Because they actually do know the third angle because of triangle properties. So angle, angle, side is really just a variation of angle, side, angle. If you take a minute to realize that if I know two angles in a triangle, I know the third because they all have to make 180, right? So does angle, angle, side work then? Yeah, it's just a variation of angle, side, angle, really. So that means our friend was right and we can add it to our list. So let's add it to our list. So angle, angle, side would look like that.
What page is this supposed to be on?
Which means we can use that, right? Now, the last part of this, you have another one on here.
Angle, side, side.
Well, no, that's side, side, angle, right?
Oh,
Same
yeah.
thing, just written the other way. If you look at the last part of this, and we're just kind of debriefing the last couple because you guys did the hard work with this, so it's really easy for us to come back and summarize it together. Your friend also wants to add HL, hypotenuse leg. Now, if I have a hypotenuse, what type of triangle does it have to be? Yeah, so this would be specific to right triangles. But you guys didn't experiment with any right triangles, did you? Okay, let's think for a minute. This guy, we realized that we actually knew more than what was just labeled, right? So let's think about a right triangle for a minute. I've got an angle, because they both have a right angle, right? I've got the hypotenuse, and I've got one of the legs. Think about right triangles for a minute. Is there anything else that I could figure out about a right triangle if I know one leg, the hypotenuse, and that it's a right triangle? Kathleen? Well, I'm trying to prove that they're congruent, but right now I can't prove that it's congruent yet. Is there anything else, even if I just look at one of these triangles, is there anything else I could figure out about that triangle? It's a right triangle. I know one leg and I know the hypotenuse. Yesha? What things do you guys know how to do with right triangles? Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard Noah in the back. She's saying Pythagorean theorem. What would Pythagorean theorem help me do? Oh, if I know two of the sides, I can use Pythagorean theorem to get, if these two sides are the same, Pythagorean theorem is going to give me the same answer for both triangles, right? Which means, according to Pythagorean theorem, I can do that, right? Now I could say they're congruent. What's my argument?
Side, side, side.
Yeah, so HL is a right triangle variation of side, side, side. But you just have to realize that there's a third side hiding in there. So that's why these last two, so we can add that one to our list. So hypotenuse and leg. These last two are really just variations of other things. This is really just a angle side angle variation. And this is really just a side 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 variation. And that happens a lot in geometric proof. You'll get things where you might have a slightly different variation of something you already know, but if you can piece it together with some other things that you know, then you've just proven another new shortcut that you can use. And that's kind of what we did here. We pieced this together with the fact that triangles make 180, which means really we know the third angle that's not labeled. And we pieced this together with Pythagorean theorem, which means really we know the third side, even though it's not labeled. So this is really just like angle, side, angle, or side, side, side variations.
Is that HL that you wrote?
Yep, hypotenuse leg. And if you want, you can label that below too, if you want to remember. Hypotenuse leg. So since that HL is specific to right triangle, so we're using our right triangle terminology to talk about it. But it really is just a side, side, side variation.